Good morning.
Morning.
Hi. We're so back. I'm Aisha Prattler with Eric Jenkins. We're back on the morning show, although it's 8:40 p.m. for me, and it is technically still a.m. for him, but we're doing it. We're back.
We're doing it. We missed yesterday's morning show. We had a lot going on. We had a group run, and so the morning show had to be pushed. People were upset about it.
Look,
people were pissed.
I understand. How was the group run?
It was good. Great turnout. A lot more people than the first one. The weather was so much cooler yesterday than it's been the whole trip. So it was ideal group run conditions, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
How's your fitness?
I've been more fit, but I think for a group run, it's actually I'm like kind of perfectly situated for this type of environment.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I have another question for you, and it is, can you tell me about the face mask you did?
Oh yeah. Well, so in Japan, in our hotel, they have all these nice little things. Like that was just waiting for me it was either in the hotel or part of the little ASICS goodie bag that they handed out. But a nice little face mask. There was also baths. I'm in my hotel room. There's an enormous bathtub, very deep. You might have a tough time in there. And like bath salts, and are you a fan of a nice bath?
Oh, love a nice bath. Sheet mask, nice bath, maybe a candle.
Yeah.
Court of thorns and roses, just get that going.
Yeah, you really go all out for the bath experience. So yesterday, me and Mac had a big recharge day. We didn't go to the meet. We watched it from the hotel room in silence. It was absolutely beautiful. And before that, chef's kiss, and I took a nice bath. I love a nice bath. Yeah. Lots of bath salts.
Do you take baths at home?
Yeah. I love a bath.
How often?
I guess it depends on the season, right? Like winter time. Now that's bath season. Summer, I'm not as inclined to draw a nice hot bath, but yeah, depending on the mood. But I go through waves. But yeah, yesterday was a bath day, and today's morning was a face mask day. As I was kind of catching up on the 20K Racewalk. Now I did bite off more than I could chew when I said that I was going to go to the Racewalk, and
so we didn't make it.
We didn't make it, but it's right in time. I have obligations. I have to do the show, and the Racewalk is right at the start of when we'd be doing this show, so it just doesn't quite work out.
Who was victorious in the Racewalk? Do you know?
I believe it was the Brazilian. I don't have any
on the men's side. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You were the Brazilian won on the men's side, and on the women's side, the Spanish woman Maria Perez won. So
and I think as far as racewalks go, now this is something that Evan Dunphy can maybe inform me of later down the road when we get more into it. But it seems like it was a pretty close race, a sit and kick type of situation. I think it was only separated by a few seconds.
On the men's side, it was separated by a tenth.
A tenth of a second? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So it's even closer than I thought.
78.35 to 78.40.43, and then silver and bronze was 0.43 and 0.45, and then off the podium was 0.49. What a thrilling race on the men's side.
Must be so tough to not, you're like, I would love to just run for a sec.
Yeah, and the women's was decided by less than half a second as well. Yeah, just one running step, just one little whoop.
Do you think race walkers also walk just regularly, like very fast? You know, you think if they're like on the sidewalk in New York City, they're just absolutely blazing down that? Or do you think they're like, no, I'm not on the clock right now. I'm gonna walk, I'm gonna enjoy this.
I have a friend who is a race walker and he walks at a normal pace.
Okay, good. That's good to know. There's something about in Tokyo, so far what I've noticed is that they don't rush. There's specific signs like in the train station, around on these pedestrian walkways that say do not rush. And
really?
Yeah. And they like if you're riding the escalator, nobody walks up the escalator. Like I started doing that and then stopped because it seems rude. They just stand. And so
wow.
Like I don't know if it's something deep within me that is rushing to go nowhere and is just worried about constantly not being on time. But in Japan, it's like they're walking slow. I'm caught behind a lot of people. And it's teaching me a lot about myself.
Yeah, that would not bode well for me, being perpetually 5 minutes late and trying to make up that 5 minutes all day.
I mean, you actually would need a rush.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so I need to just have a camp in Tokyo, in Japan, where I like learn the art of timeliness and not rushing. I'm just trying to fit too much into one day.
Yeah, they really embody the Zen. We all could use a little more Zen and being present in our daily lives, and they're kind of doing it over here from the very, very limited experience I have in Japan.
From your expertise.
From my expertise, which is hotel rooms right now.
Yeah, have you had any more cultural experiences?
Since the last time we talked, I don't believe so.
Did you go shopping?
Yes, we've gone shopping. We went to the really famous stores, like it's called Don Quijote, which is kind of hell, truthfully. Very overwhelming.
What'd you get?
I didn't get anything there. We went in there, looked around. I was like borderline having a panic attack because it's
just there's too much stuff.
There's 7 floors of just everything you could ever think of. And there's just so much sounds in these stores. Like like there's like anime like voices, and Mac pointed out to me that something that I hadn't really realized, that they play these sounds at the entrances of these shops. It's like a dog whistle. So it's like signaling either come into the store or get out, but don't linger at the doorway. And it's like an odd kind of screechy sound. So you're kind of getting bombarded on all your senses, right?
It's sensory overload.
It's sensory overload. There's so much. So Don Quijote was like 7 floors at least of just like trinkets, and it's tight and it's all packed in together. And so yeah,
too much for Eric.
I could imagine it was too much for me yesterday or whenever we went. I had to get out of there. But it's been lots of the other stores have been great. Everything is just smaller, which is really cool in a lot of ways. And then there's sometimes where I'm like, little more space would go pretty far right here. But in a city of 27 million people, I'm like, space.
Have it. You can't have it.
Can't have it.
This is not possible. It's not possible.
They're like, yeah, buddy, of course a little space would be nice, but who do you think you are? Oh yeah, no, I had my first bubble. Max just was saying I had my first bubble tea yesterday, right outside Don Quixote, and it might have been like the contrast from Don Quixote. I was panicking, then go outside and have a bubble tea, and but I loved it.
Like
I
you're like
loved
a
it.
toddler, like you're having a fit in the store and you just need a little treat.
Mac was like, Mac could see I was about to start crying, and he was like, I know what he needs. And he got me a bubble tea, and I was like, thank you so much. This actually is delicious. It's a drink you can eat. It's a chewy drink.
It is blowing my mind that this is your first bubble tea experience. I'm not a fan. I'm really I
Yeah.
want to maybe I don't want to drink my drinks or not drink them at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the flavor of the boba is just it's not for me. I feel like it's a polarizing food drink.
Is boba
is
boba the bubble? Is boba the tapioca balls?
the balls? Yeah. What
Yeah, I
even
don't
is
think it's necessarily
tapioca?
a taste flavor. It's a textural thing. They're tapioca balls.
I'm looking
Yeah.
up tapioca. Yeah. A gluten-free starch extracted from the cassava root. Okay. I don't know. I'm happy for you. I'm really glad you liked it. I'm glad that you had a bottle to have after the meltdown.
First off, careful. Do most people does everybody chew? Since you're not a bubble tea fan, you might not be able to answer this, but like, do you just swallow? Do people just swallow the tapioca balls? Or are you supposed to just chew them for a
No,
bit?
I think it's a chewing thing. I think it's a chewing thing.
Well, the texture of the tapioca, I mean, you can just slurp those things down. Because after a while, because I'd been milking this thing for a long time, because I have to eat this thing now, and I'm used to just chugging my drink down. But so after about a decent amount of time of sipping my enormous bubble tea, I was like, I got to stop chewing and just start inhaling these balls. I'm like, I was like, I've eaten like a sack of marbles worth of tapioca.
Exactly. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah.
What's it for?
Yeah, maybe it was just it just was hitting me at the exact right time. But my first bubble tea was a blast.
Great. And then what did you do? Then did you go to the track? No. Then you came home.
No, then actually we walked around for the entire day.
Oh my God. How many steps did you get in?
I don't know. I wasn't counting, but I got in a whole lot. We actually went to lunch with Will at this place called Wagyu Mafia. It was like we rented out a little burger studio, and got the whole place to ourselves. It was fantastic. It was really fun. And but we walked, like 35 minutes to get there. And then we walked 35 minutes back. We stopped at a few more places along the way. And then we were out all day. Out just moseying about, eating the whole day.
Cute.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Cute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so fun.
So
did you have any okay, so then after that you went to the track.
And then after that we went to the track.
How many times are you having to like change outfits during the day? Like you said, it was
Great question,
a better
actually.
weather
Yes.
day.
Yes. A lot of changing out the outfits. It's a lot, just very if you go out for, let's say you went out to lunch at noon, and then you had the track at 7, you're gonna have to if you leave the hotel, go outside and walk around a bit, you're gonna be sweating, and you probably should change. But everybody now, it's gotten a lot, like, drastically cooler in the last day or two. So you're not, the sweat has subsided, but then you get to the track and everybody, it's just, it's moist out there. Everybody's soaking wet with sweat, but it's been really nice recently, and that's not the case anymore.
Do you think that will change the tactics?
Yes.
For the 5Ks we have coming up?
Yeah. If it stays like this and the temperature is cool, I would see. I think it's, we've talked a lot about how the races aren't haven't been as fast as the previous years. And I'm not sure if that's just it, if it's just the weather or if it's a combination of the weather and how many times everybody's been racing or since it's late in the season. But I do think with it being a lot cooler that the race tactics could change for sure.
Who do you like in the what do we have today? We don't have any 5Ks today.
No, today we got the women's 5, I think. Women's 5, women's
sorry, it's showing me just the session that was on now. Okay, so later we have the women's 5. Yeah, you're right.
Women's 5,
yeah, what are we thinking?
Men's 800. I think I'm not sure what else. I think those are the main distance races of or the only distance race of the night. What else is tonight?
Tonight is some field events for the HEP and the deck, and then the heats of the 4x4s and the 4x1s.
Those will be fun. Those are always fun.
And then I love the women's 8 in the heptathlons. That's tonight as well.
You love the you love the women's 8 in the hep?
I do. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And then you'll end with the 800. Oh yeah, Max scrolling it. I had my other tab open. Yeah. Okay. So women's 5. What are we thinking?
Oh,
first of all, do you want to know what FanDuel's thinking?
Yeah, let's see what FanDuel's. This is going to be such a good race. This is, I mean, this is probably, as far as the distance races go, the most stacked event as far as the top talent for the athletes with Beatrice Chebet, Faith Kipyegon, Gudaf Sagai, Agnes and Gedich, right?
Nadia Botticletti.
Man, yeah, like this is an incredible race. Josette Andrews is in there for the Americans. Shelby Houlihan, Tanaka, they're going to be going nuts for Tanaka.
They're going to be going nuts.
Tanaka will have like a 800-meter lead a mile in, and they'll be going ballistic. It's going to be so fun. But yeah, this race is, I don't know. I mean, God, we just don't see Faith Kipyegon losing. And so is tonight going to be the night we see that? I don't know. It's hard if there is a night for it with athletes like Beatrice Chebet. I think if there is someone who is going to do it, it's Beatrice Chebet. But I don't know. Like I wouldn't put money on. I would probably put money on Faith Kipyegon, except the FanDuel's her odds I would imagine are pretty high, so it might not be my bet. I like the heavy underdogs that show up and can pay the mortgage with a winning bet. So I don't know. Let's see what does our coworkers at FanDuel say?
To win gold, they have Beatrice Chebet at -135 and Faith Kipyegon at +100.
Oh, really? Okay, so they think that Beatrice is the favorite.
They do. They do. And then it jumps up wildly to Nadia Botticletti at +2200, Gudaf Sagai at +2700, Agnes and Gedich at +3300.
What is Botticletti's? Do they have to medal or just to win?
Okay, let's look at to medal. Faith Kipyegon and Beatrice are both -2500. Nadia Botticletti is -190. Gudaf is -140, and then the first positive odds person is Agnes and Gedich at +145.
I mean, that could be, I think Agnes, it's really like Agnes, Botticletti, Gudaf. I mean, of those, I would say Gudaf would be my guess. But with how Botticletti looked in the 10, and Agnes has looked all year.
Very good.
They looked good, and so I would.
But the issue is Agnes doesn't ride the rail. She's not a rail rider, and that cost her in the 10. Yeah. And we've seen her get out kicked 1 million times this year. So I don't think in this situation it's her time to medal in the 5. Unfortunately, I don't see it happening. I hope I eat my words because I became a fan of hers at Grand Slam RIP, but she just doesn't necessarily have the the giddy up when she needs it at the end.
What is your podium?
And Gudolf, the other thing I'll say about Gudolf is Gudolf always wants to win, and occasionally she did much better in the 10K. But occasionally you'll see her pack it in if she's not going to win. So
yeah,
I think
it's like a lot of times it's like if you try and win, you might not get anything, especially in an event like this. So I think someone like Gudolf is going to be going for the win, could end up in off the podium. Where somebody like Boticletti could yeah, are you
I'm talking to my dog.
Yeah, I'm like, who are you scolding? I'm like, is that you talking to Emma? That's how you talk to Emma Coburn? Wow. I'm like, a little respect,
girl.
Aisha. Come on. You're like, bad girl. Sit.
Lupin, no.
No, Emma, no. Emma, no. No, sit. Sit. Here's a treat.
Here's a treat.
Yeah, so I think Boticletti is somebody who would shoot for the podium and get that rather than go for the win. Where someone like Gudolf is going to shoot for the win and could end up just packing it in. But you never know. This is going to be a really fun one, and if the conditions hold up, you could see a really fast time.
Oh yeah, and what did Gudolf run at pre 14:03 or something?
Yeah, I think just over 14. What Beatrice was 13:58, and Gudolf just over 14. So, I mean, yeah, it's
14:04.
14:04. Okay, but yeah, this is going to be a really fun one.
Fast.
What do you think, Joe, for Josette Norris? Like, it's just going to be? Look, be cognizant that this race might be brutal
10.
From the gun. Yeah.
I'm looking at the field. Yeah, I think top 10 is a good day. I think top 8 is a great day. I think top 5 is just psycho day.
Top 5 is a psycho day.
Yeah. But if the pace lags, which I just don't see happening, Josette looked really great in the Diamond League final, winning
really good
the 3K.
Yeah.
So yeah. If you leave it, you leave some world-class 1500 meter runners to it.
I don't see it lagging enough to be. Yeah, I don't see it lagging enough for like a Diamond League final. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a record. It might be. What is a championship record? I don't know if it's not going to be like a sub 14 race by any means, but you'll see someone take it from far out. Whether that's a mile to go or 2K or something like that. But and when that move's made, it's going to be hard, right? Like in a lap, I bet the top competitors will just separate themselves from the pack, and then it's just going to be carnage behind them.
The championship record, I'm double checking here. I believe it might be Helen O'Beary from 2019, 14:26.
That could go down.
Yeah. Championship records are 12:52 by Eliud Kipchoge in 2003 and 14:26 by Helen O'Beary in 2019.
14:26. Yeah, that record's
in
on the
danger
table.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that could happen. Man, I wish that was a prop bet.
That's a good over-under. Yeah. So when our next meeting with our coworkers at FanDuel, it's like, look, we got to get more bets than just to medal or to win. We got to get times over under championship records, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Different scenarios. Yeah. Who's going to be leading at what point in the race?
Yep.
We need.
Is there a fall? Is a fall going to happen?
Yeah. Is there a DQ?
That gets overturned because the people need rye.
The people need rye. I was like, they're just DQing they're like, America's down so bad with these DQs.
Yeah. Truthfully, I was watching this morning, and as we know, I'm not really the most alert at 6:05 a.m. And I totally missed that he had gotten DQ'd. Like, I don't know what it, like, if I just wasn't listening, and Will texted me that, oh, thank goodness Rye's been reinstated. And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Reinstated from what? Like that, what are you talking about? But I'm glad that I didn't have to ride that panic wave.
It was a short wave.
Nice
short wave.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about that? Like, I was talking about last night with the guys on the post race show, and how I just thought it's crazy that they bring this and say that he's DQ'd without. You would think that if they say he's DQ'd, they've gone through the process of actually like, okay, this is the final decision, rather than like he's on the high from winning a world championship and they say, oh, heads up, you're DQ'd. And then 5 minutes later being like, no, actually, you're back in. Sorry about that. It's like, it kind of just ruins this moment, a once in a lifetime moment that it's like, dude, get your shit together before you tell the world champion that he was DQ'd as he's on the track wearing a fucking crown. It's so sloppy.
Yeah, it is. That's a great word for it, is sloppy. It's if you wanted to like get litigious, you could just sue for some psychological damages. Like, that is so terrible. I've never won a world championship. I can't imagine the joy and elation, and then to be told, oh, you're DQ'd, like that would really ruin it. And I think in hindsight, you would always like, that's a pit in your stomach you don't forget. I'm like, oh, you get to the airport and you realize that you left your passport at home an hour away. Like, the pit in your stomach, and then you find the passport and you're like, oh yeah, great. But like, that pit doesn't go away. Like, that pit is always there. So I feel sad for him that he had to have that experience, and it wasn't just this Everest that he's climbed to win this world title. Really sucks. And
yeah, I mean, luckily it was short and it didn't go on long, but still, I just thought, it's not, doesn't look good.
No, there should, I think you're onto something. This is something that could be discussed in the athletes commission of, hey, if you're going to throw a DQ, you better have grounds to throw the DQ. Like, it should be pending. If it's in question, maybe have it as pending for a little bit longer, rather than subject an athlete to like the biggest gut punch they've ever felt in their life.
Yeah, it was just, it's just like, it's leaked to everybody. It's like leaked to the media before, like right around the same time that even Rye knows, right? So it's like, I'm here in the hotel having my recharge day, and I know that Rye is, potentially DQ'd right around the same time he is. It just seemed, it's like, it shouldn't be the case, right? It should be somebody whispers in Rye's ear, like, hey, just a heads up, there is a pending thing going on.
You might want to sit down.
You might want to sit down. We're reviewing the last hurdle, and that hurdle falling into the lane of the other athletes. And there's been other countries that are appealing this. So just want to put that into your ear, so it's not, it's not a complete shocker when you do hear it, but it should be to him first, and then maybe we hear about it, instead of everybody just kind of hearing about it at the same time. I think,
or if
it seems
yeah, especially if it's like for the world title. This isn't a round.
Yes, that's what,
this isn't
exactly.
a semi. It is the highest stakes, and it also then puts like an asterisk on this win of, thankfully, one of the competitors, was it the Nigerian athlete that was like, oh no, It didn't get in my way. Like, he's the rightful world title. But then the conversation that ripples throughout the world is the conversation that you and I are having right now. It's not about Rye's dominance. It's not about the dick measuring contest. It's not about the crown that he was wearing. It's not about like how dominant he is as an athlete and how he like really controlled the race. It's like, oh no, that really sucks. So it's definitely a stripping of a moment that you can't take back, and you can't have the 5 minutes or the 10 minutes after you win a world title. You're never going to get that back. Like, it's nearly impossible to win a world title and then you get your moment squashed. That sucks.
Yeah, it's like Mac just brought this up. He's talking about, remember Eric Holt in the US? It was the trials. Was it the 800? He got DQ'd from the 800 as he's like doing his on track speech, right? Wasn't that? Yeah, it's one of these things. You're like, it's kind of like the opposite in that case, where they in this one they DQ'd him before it was deserved, and then in that one they're like, he's already doing a vintage Eric Holt speech, and they're like, well, DQ'd.
Well, put it back in the can, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like one of these things with, if you're an athlete and you see the type of performance that Rye had, it's of course it's so dominant. And if you're that Nigerian athlete, yeah, it's not these athletes who are the ones filing the protests. It's these federations, and it's a mandatory thing. Like, you have to do it. If there's a chance that your athlete moves up and because of another athlete's, potentially, being DQ'd, and like, it's just, you have to do it. So it's not on these athletes that I'm sure a lot of people do think it's the athletes, right? But it's not the case. There's a lot of people behind decisions like this, and it's before the athlete even knows what's happened, their federations have made moves on their behalf.
That's a good point, because we don't really, like, as a casual spectator, you're like, what, like, why? You just like don't know who's the one throwing the flag onto the football field. And that is a good point, that it's somebody from a federation going to a table and saying, protest. It's not, it's like, yeah, it's less dramatic than in other sports. And it's like very much done at like an obscure table that's in the call room area. It's not like a very public thing, which is why it gets confusing when you're like, wait, there's always whispers of DQs and you don't really know what it is. And there's not like an official that comes out on the track and like is in the ref suit and says like DQ on the field, Rye Benjamin encroaching, whatever. It's like, no, you have to open a rule book. I have to open 15 more tabs to figure out what the violation is. It's a very strange process in track and field.
What did you think of what other races were you that stood out to you?
I loved the 200s. That was awesome. I mean, on the men's side, I thought it was so fascinating. And I was on the edge of my seat for how tight the race was, with 4 men taking like strong, strapping fellas that are taking up almost an entire lane, like coming in as a blanket together in the last 50, I think was something we haven't seen in a long time. There's been just a lot of dominant performances, and it was really exciting to watch that race. On the women's side as well, I mean, like, having Melissa Jefferson-Wooden is so dominant, and that's really fun to see. But it was also great to see Shericka Jackson back on the podium. I mean, she had this, mysterious injury back in Paris, and nobody really understood what was going on. And she and her camper being really tight-lipped about it. And then after this has come out, she's spoken about the injuries from last year of being like hamstring tear, quad either strain or tear, like these wild injuries that are really, really challenging to come back from, let alone come back and end up on the podium the following year. So that was, I think, a great redemptive story. And I'm new to, is it Amy Hunt, the British?
Yeah.
Woman?
I'm new to her. I'm new to her too. I think everybody's kind of new to her.
Yeah. I feel like usually I'm on the beat, but no, that was exciting to see a new face on the podium.
Melissa Jefferson-Wooden was so far, like, you saw the finish line photo, and she's so far ahead of everybody. And it's in a race like the 200, like, such a dominant performance. She's been on fire the entire year. You saw her in absolutely cleaning up at Grand Slam. Then to come here and honestly, she won this by more than she was even winning these Grand Slam races. So crazy performance by her. I was thinking, it's like, we always have thought about, for good reason, that, Gabby Thomas is the athlete in the women's 200, but it's like, she comes back, but Melissa Jefferson-Wooden's taken over that throne. It'll be really fun to watch. Hopefully Gabby can get back to 100% and to the level that she was at, before the Achilles injury, and really see these two have kind of like a Noah Lyles, Kenny Bednarik type of rivalry. It'd be so much fun.
So fun. And I hope that, I'm a Sha'Carri fan, and I think more athletes, more shine, more attention on the sport. But I hope that Melissa Jefferson-Wooden gets as much limelight as a Gabby Thomas, as Sha'Carri. Like, she just won double gold. Like, she's the first American to do this since when? Like, it's such a huge accomplishment. And she's such a smart athlete, such a student of the sport, such like a smart, savvy investor, and like a really compelling person. And her personality is less outspoken, but I hope that people really dive into like who she is, and that she gets to jump into the limelight this year because she earned it.
Yeah, no, it is tough. It's not tough, right? But there's a reason why, like, the outspoken people, Noah Lyles, who talks a whole lot, Sha'Carri, those people get a lot of attention. They're headline grabbers. But
Allison Felix wasn't super outspoken and at the height of her career, and
True.
She was a household name. So it's happened before, but now I guess we're living in the social media era. We're living in the era where people love a disaster. So
and
slightly
Allison
different
Felix was just
landscape.
Allison Felix was doing this for how long? I mean, if
right.
Melissa Jefferson-Wooden does this next year and the year after and at Olympics and at the next one,
good point.
Then yeah, she will eventually become a household name. But it's
good point.
It's Allison Felix who just had such an insane longevity that it's
and a dominance forever.
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you think of the women's 8 semis?
I loved them. I think this race is another one where I'm very excited for the final, because not only can so many of these women, I'd say, win or at least medal, but they like to do it in similar ways, right? Like the Vero, is she Switzerland? Is she from
She's Swiss, yeah.
She's Swiss, yeah. So she runs from the front, right? Hodgkinson's always kind of in the front. Mary Mora, of course, is always in the front. And so it's going to be fun to see how they decide to set the pace and who actually ends up in front and who ends up trailing. But I think it's going to be really fast. I do think we were talking last night, and I do think Keely is still the favorite. But I mean, there's absolutely a world where Keely does not take that title. But yeah, I think it's really, I liked how, Mitch, our boy Mitch, was gassing up Jess. She's looked great. And
right.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say I was necessarily like saying she shouldn't be in the 800. I thought, because me and you were, when we found out she was in the 800, I was like, what?
Can we roll the tape? Yeah. Because that's the reaction I remember. I believe you said, what the?
Yeah, I did.
I'm not sure what expletive it was, but if we can roll the tape back, I believe you were saying maybe not do the 800.
Yeah. Oh, I did.
And your boy was wrong.
Oh yeah. In my defense, I thought that the 8 was first. I thought they were going on at the same time, and so that's why I did that.
Did I hear correctly that Jess is the first Australian woman to make the 800-meter final?
First Australian woman in history? That can't be.
Can I get a fact check? I'll fact check myself.
I'm like, you're asking me? I'm like, hey, that's not in the job description for me. That would be real. That'd be wild. I can't imagine that's because that'd be wild if that's true. I would feel like Mitch would have been saying a whole lot more stuff if that was the case. But
yeah, Jess Hull.
The first Australian woman in history to make the 800-meter final.
Yep.
What? Yeah. What has Australia been doing?
I know, which sounds crazy, right?
It sounds crazy because
the talent
great.
they have right now. Yeah, with Jess, with Lyndon, with Georgia Griffith, with Abby Caldwell. Like
Sarah
how
Billings,
is that?
and like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
so
How is
many.
this possible? Whoa, crazy. Good for Jess.
Really cool. And to make the 15, we were trying to figure it out last night. Who was the last athlete to make the 15 final and the 8 final at the same world championships? And Max said, probably somebody like Laura Muir or someone like
Arafi
that. Arafi.
would be my
You
guess.
you had that you had that right on the tip of the tongue.
Well, because it's not a double you see often.
Yeah, it's a hard double.
It's a really hard double. You have 6 races to do. And usually if you're like a great 1500 meter racer that has the ability to double in something, it's like, oh, well, it lends itself to being you'd be strong. And so you'd run the 5K and that's only 2 rounds or whatever. But yeah, I bet it's a Rafi.
What do our coworkers have the odds at for the women's 8? Are they out yet?
Okay. Women's 8 is really interesting. Yeah. So here, I never, ever, ever would want to speak ill of the queen, Keely Hodgkinson, but I don't think she looks as unbeatable as she's looked in the past. So take that with a grain of salt. I thought she looked hot temperature wise compared to
temperature wise.
some of the other. You sicko. No, she is arguably and
she's hot.
Like she's hot. She's definitely hot. But they have her to win, like hands down, not as handedly, minus 450 to win.
Okay.
And then Lillian Odira at plus 850 to win. And then Georgia Hunter Bell plus 1400, Audrey Vero plus 1600.
Audrey Vero plus 1600.
Mm-hmm.
Audrey Vero at plus 1600 is a good one.
Georgia Bell at plus 1400 is probably a good one too.
Georgia Bell at plus 1400 is another good one. The Georgia Hunter Bell she has a great kick. Even in an 800, which is a hard event to have any sort of kick in. And so if you could definitely see her picking off some athletes in that last 100 if the legs are feeling good. But yeah, Vera at plus 1600, especially after how fast she's been running and won the Diamond League final. I think that's not a bad bet to make. We should be able to pick the podium, not bad right? Like parlay.
Yeah, that would be. We got to do that. Yeah, we got to
parlay.
We can't. My only word of caution, and I hope I'm wrong because it would be spectacular, of like just a amazing Cinderella story, is Audrey Vero's really young and came up from the 400. So I'm curious to see what 3 rounds will look like at her first crack at like being in the final. What are you rolling your eyes about over there?
Oh no, Max just put we're doing tech stuff over here. Max putting the odds on the big screen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yes. We got a crazy setup over here. Yeah, she's young, but I mean it's not like she's not racing young, right? I mean,
that's true. She's raced at a high level.
She's raced at a high level. She won the Diamond League final.
Isn't she like world junior champion too?
Is she? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with how she's been looking, how she's been racing. Also, she hits the front, and she's like kind of like Josh Kerr in the 1500 when he's running well. It can be really tough to get around him if you let him go to the front and run his race. And that's kind of how Vero's been looking in the 8. Like just strong runner, and for some reason, whatever it is, it's tough to get by her and make a move when she's at the front running tough. But
yeah, she's 5'8".
She's 5'8". First, I guess she. I was like, if you were gonna ask me what her, I would say 6'1", 6'11" ish.
I think people don't realize a lot of middle distance runners are quite petite. So she looks very tall, but everybody else is just a little petite.
Yeah. So I think the fun. I think her and Georgia Hunter Bell, those odds are the fun ones to me.
Agree.
What's Mary Mora?
Wait, Mary Mora is to medal
plus
or
1500
to win gold.
To win plus 1500
is plus 1500.
That's another
and
good
to medal
one.
is plus 200. I can no longer, after I lost everyone's money on the Mary Mora bet from Grand Slam, I can't.
Yeah, it's a real fool me once, fool me twice kind of situation with Mary Mora and us telling people to bet on her.
Okay, here's a fun message from a listener. I haven't fact checked this, but did you guys know Georgia Hunter Bell is married to a man named George Hunter? They are George and Georgia Hunter.
Wait.
Anyways, I'm watching the race. Yeah. Anyways, I'm watching the Racewalk because what the hell else am I supposed to do on a Friday night? Yeah. George and Georgia Hunter. Let's look this up. Let's fact check.
That's very interesting. It's hilarious. It's very good.
That's so cute.
Okay. I mean, like part of like the attraction is like
yeah.
How do you think they met? Do you think they met like he slid in and was like, what about these like that's got to be an opening line.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't really know very much about opening lines, but that would probably work on me. I don't know.
Yeah, I like your name.
I don't think there's many male Aishas in the world. But yeah, George and Georgia Hunter. That's crazy.
Very cute. That's a fun little fact.
Thanks, listener. Yeah. What a tidbit. We love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So who's your pick to win?
It is really tough to pit. In my mind, it's either going to be Keely or it's going to be Georgia.
Oh, really? Keely or Georgia? Do you think they're going to do some sort? Do you think they're going to work together at all? I mean, they're training partners, they're teammates. No. But
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't
because
think
I think
that
they have
Georgia's
two totally different strategies. Well, yeah, I'm sure she knows her strategy. Everybody knows her strategy. But I do think that it's like, I don't know, if you're like,
well, what is her strategy?
Go to the front, control the race, or let Mary Mora or whoever wants to go a little faster control the race, and then come around and go win. I don't know. And Georgia's is sit in the back and kick. Like they're just coming at it from two totally different angles. So I don't think that it would behoove either of them to work together. They just have different styles of racing.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got Keely or Georgia. Fun.
What about you?
I think it will be I think it will be Keely. And if it wasn't Keely, I think it would be someone like Vero. I think
that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah. I do think Georgia has a real shot to medal. I definitely would be surprised if she won, but we've seen crazier things happen at this World Championships.
Yes, we have.
It's absolutely not out of the realm of possibility for Georgia to walk away champion, but I think she would have to have kind of like an A+ performance, and other athletes would have to have maybe an off day, or it just completely run the legs out of them. But it'd be a really fun one to see if she could do it.
I think you're right. Okay, let's look at I want to look at the odds for the men's 8.
Oh yeah.
I want to see if FanDuel is
final tonight
to my thoughts.
What are your thoughts?
Well, okay, also, I had a moment of deep embarrassment this morning. Or was it yesterday morning? I don't know, whatever morning the men's semis were happening, because I realized I've been saying Muhammad Atatui rhymes with ratatouille. That's not it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what it is.
Wait.
And I So Hannah England and then the male announcer both said his last name differently, neither of which rhymed with ratatouille.
But you still don't know what it is?
No, do you?
Can you pull up his name and let me give it my best shot? Let's see. We're on. Yeah, let's see. Hold on, I'm asking Mac to pull it up. That's funny. We were talking about this on our post race show yesterday about pronunciation of athletes' names. Anderson pulled out a crazy name out of the hat. Okay, so you're adding an extra T in there. Right? Because
there's two T's. I'm adding
totally
an
get
A.
what you're saying. I get what you're thinking because there's two T's right off the jump, but there's no T in the second part of that name. So it's like Adawi. Right? Adawi.
I think it's probably
Mohammed Adawi.
I think it's probably Adawi. Okay, I could see that. I was thinking like Atois or
well, you were thinking Ratatouille.
I was thinking rhymes with ratatouille, which, yeah, ratatouille. I don't know. That's wrong. It's really wrong. We need someone. We need a journalist.
I'm actually I don't want to say that I'm pretty confident how I just said it.
Okay, how'd you say it again?
Adawi.
Adawi. Yeah. I like that.
I love it.
I like that. Yeah.
There's got to be some footage of someone out there saying his name in the right way.
Well, what is the right way? Because everyone's saying it differently. I'll go on his Instagram. He's not a bad looking fella. I'll do some research later.
Oh, he's hot too?
I think so.
That's good for him. That's sick.
But I think he will.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Wignoni at plus 130, Ratatouille at plus 380, Marco plus 390, Keon Phillips plus 700, Sajadi at plus 1,000. There we go. Now we're getting
crazy.
Now we're getting into some money. And then
first Jamaican
Bergen,
ever in
Bergen
the
plus
800 meter final.
1,400, another good one. Yeah. So I think those would be. I think my picks as far as the sleeper picks would be Bergen and Sajadi. Plus 1,000 and plus 4. Yeah. So those are the picks. So Ratatouille's been running really well. He's the second behind Wignoni. Sexy bastard.
Yeah, but days ago they had him at plus 1,400 or plus 2,200. We'd have to roll the tape on what I said earlier this week, but I've been hot on Ratatouille and Sajadi.
Yeah, well, our coworkers have been hot on Ratatouille too. Not as hot on Sajadi, but yeah, this is going to be a really fun one. I would imagine. Geez, if Wignoni lost this, that would be. I mean, it'd be the first race he's lost in
crazy.
How long? And it would be pretty wild.
It would be crazy. I think I'm more willing, and I know I just picked a sleeper in the women's 8, but I feel more willing to pick sleeper picks in the men's races because it's been pandemonium of shakeups on the men's side. So I think that's why I'm more willing to pick that. And the odds to win a medal, it's wild to me that they're not high on Max Bergen. They have him at plus 240, and Max Bergen just who did he take to the line at the Diamond League final? Was that Wignoni? Yeah.
Yeah, Wignoni.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Max saying he was plus 3,300 type numbers a day or two ago.
He was.
So our coworkers hate him. They don't have any faith. They don't like Bergen. And maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they think he's just kind of run the legs out of himself going into the final. But I mean, what do you think? How do you think this race plays out? You think it's typical Wignoni hit the front, make him work, and hold on and see if anybody can handle the heat? Or do you think he plays it a bit more reserved and lets somebody else do the work?
I think his best bet to win is to do his race, is to go to the front, take it out fast, whatever. You open yourself up for a death, especially with the conditions. Maybe they're not going to be as big of a play in the moment, but it's how long has everyone been sweating in Tokyo? Like at least, 10 days or so at this point. So, I mean, you'd have to be poised and have a lot of self-control of, hey, I'm going to take it out, but I'm going to run exactly these splits and I'm not going to get carried away. I think in the heat of the moment, when you're the guy and the world is on your back and you are set to win the world championships and you're set to go take the lead and do it and do the thing, you could get a little ahead of yourself. And if you'd have to use extreme amounts of discipline and poise to run your ideal splits, given this is your third race, given you've been sweating forever and all of these things. But I think that's his best shot to win if he can show the restraint to run the splits that are most appropriate.
What do you think's like the over under on time? You think they go in the 142s? You think it's a 143 low? What do you think?
The semis were pretty quick. I don't know, probably 142s. I would say 142 mid to high.
Yeah, I like that.
What
I
do you
think that's a good over under. I could see it being. I can't see it being faster than 142 mid, which is how everybody's been with how everyone's been running this year. I mean, I think 142 high is a safe one. 142.8 was my gut reaction for what I think it could be the winning time. But I do think I think Wignoni it's his race to lose. He's the heavy favorite. I think it's Wignoni. Honestly, I think it could be Wignoni, Sajati, Bergen, or Wignoni, Bergen, Sajati. I think it helps with a lot of these guys knowing how it's like, look, it's going to be a hard race. Wignoni's going to go out there and take it right around probably like 50 seconds. And then we're just going to hang on, do our best to be able to stick with him and try and maintain composure and hold on. I think that's it is easier knowing just how these race plans go out instead of being like, well, who knows? We'll see what happens, and there's a lot of ways it could shake out. There's not as many ways it's going to shake out in this race, and so yeah, I think those.
Here's
are
the lane draw. Oh no, it's not the lane draws. It's just the list.
Yeah, but do you think lane draws really matter in an 8?
I think they start to be. I think people have preferences. I'm not sure they matter as much, but I think that they have maybe a psychological preference.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like the outside lanes get into the better spots easier, right?
Yeah, but then you're also out there and you're not necessarily seeing what's happening for like the first little bit.
Yeah, but I think I would assume that if you give
you don't want to be in lane 1. You really don't want to.
Yeah. So but it's not like it's the same as having a good lane in the 200.
No.
Yeah. Give me your podium.
I'm gonna go Atatui, Wignoni, Sajati.
Oh, you're high on Atatui.
I am. He ran that really fast K earlier this summer.
And you think and you're like, oh wow, that K is everything. That's it. That's it. You're my boy now.
I mean, he's looked great through the rounds. He's my boy now.
Okay, I like it. This would be if he wins. And you're known to have some picks, right? You were kind of all throughout the Olympics, you were riding. You were mystic with your picks, so maybe.
And I was pretty mystic with Jordy Beamish.
Did you hard call Jordy Beamish and said yes, he's going to win? Or you said I like his odds at 2,200.
I said
you said Jordy Beamish will win the 3,000 meter steeplechase.
I didn't say it as clearly, but I said I think he could win.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know.
We'll need our clippers to go back.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to rewatch the tape because I can't go right now and be like, yes, I'm gonna give you called Jordy Beamish.
You can give it to me like 80%.
Okay, I'll give you 78. We'll barter a bit on percentages.
Do you want to hit some voicemails?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now I haven't listened to these, so don't get mad if they're duds. I have no idea what this means.
Eric, first of all, we didn't get a recap in bed this morning, which I am very upset about. And also, please disclose all the details about the shark head. How did you obtain this? Was it inspired by the shrimp head in the mix zone the previous day? I have to know. Thanks. Love you guys. Bye.
There was a shark head in the mix zone? Now we just copied somebody. But no, that the shark head was just that's the product of Don Quixote. We were just in the store, saw a bunch of hats, and we're like, I got it, we gotta wear one. So that was how that came about. She might be thinking of the shrimp head, right? Maybe she's thinking about the shrimp, yeah.
But I don't know anything about these animal heads.
We were sitting next to this guy in the stands who was wearing a shrimp head, enormous shrimp. It was just a shrimp, a fried shrimp, coconut crusted shrimp. If you saw it on an appetizer menu, and he had his Instagram tag on the head, and Chris went and followed him, and he had like he had behind the scenes footage of Kenny and Noah meeting, like passing each other on the stairs and dapping each other up after one of the semis, and Chris just stole the footage, and yeah,
from Shrimp Head guy.
He stole Shrimp Head's footage.
That's cruel.
It is cool. I don't know if I was like, are you going to credit him? And Chris was like, God, no. And I was like,
oh my God, poor Shrimp Head guy.
Poor Shrimp Head guy. Oh yeah, there's for sure there's a lawsuit in the pipeline.
Impending.
But yeah, so that's how Shrimp Head guy came about. And the shark heads and the other headwear was just product of Don Quixote.
Okay, here we go. Wait, there's a really funny title. I'll do that one after this.
Hey, Eric and Aisha. This is Sleepless in Seattle calling with a parenting question. I have been trying for a long time to get my 7-year-old into track, and I think it's working. He's gotten really into running this year and is getting kind of intense about it. Like, he always wants to go to the track, and he got really, really angry with me at the CITIUS group run in Eugene because I couldn't keep up and we got dropped by the crowd. So he's well on his way. I'm worried he might ask for a snorkel and a piece of tape for Christmas. Anyway, I am a little bit worried about the trajectory that he is on because this morning we were watching the 400-meter women's final. And when I was super excited about Sydney breaking the American record and winning gold, he instead casually looked at me and said, well, that's not as fast as the men run, which is true, and also not really the point. So I'm a little bit worried about this toxic masculinity that is starting to emerge, and so wonder if you might have any advice for me. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your son's a piece of shit. That's... Sorry about that. That sucks.
Maybe like if you have any fast women friends, just like take them to the track with your son and just have him like have your friend dust his ass. Like just really let it be known that.
Well, first off, how old's her son?
7.
Okay. 7. He's 7.
Yeah.
So she's asking like, how do we stop him from being a toxic male? This is awesome. We have so much responsibility, Aisha. I think you kind of let him be 7 for a bit. You can say, I mean, there's ways to, I think you're maybe if you're a good parent and you're instilling the right values and you're setting a good example at home, where's the dad in the mix? And I think 7 is a bit early, unless he's displaying other serious signs, right? I need a broader picture before I say we need to really start
taking him to the track
out.
and
having
him
maybe
lose a race to a bunch of women. We clearly don't
hit
have
him,
kids,
obviously.
Here we go. Here's another one.
Hey guys, Johnny from Massachusetts again. I'm calling because I think in your Mondo versus Usain discussion, there was huge oversight, not including Sydney, who was so dominant in her own event that she got bored of it, went to a different discipline, and set what is likely a clean world record in that event. Would love to hear your thoughts on that. And anyway, love getting railed by you guys every week.
I love that this is a thing now.
It's I really love it. The riders get it. Now now when we were talking, me and Mitch were talking about the Mondo versus Usain debate. Sydney, first off, had not yet broken the done her thing in the 400 yet. Sydney absolutely is on her way to being, one of the greatest of all time. The clean, he brings up a good point with like the clean world record in that event. It was the fastest time in 40 years. Was that it? Like I heard something like that.
Yeah, since 1985.
And in 85, that was when was that when the world record was set, or
yeah 47.6. Which is one of the most controversial
Russian athlete.
I thought she was like East German or something. Yeah, East German. And was this the same? Is this the? Yeah. This is like the height of the doping. Epidemic.
No, it's not.
It is one of
them.
Like there are some very, very controversial world records, and
that's one of them.
Is one. Yeah, this is one of them. Absolutely.
It's that. It's the women's 800 is up there with it. But yeah, it's yeah. Okay, so Max pulling up a picture of the 400 meter world record holder
on some juice.
She would crush it in the enhanced games. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, she would.
She's got a neck like a middle linebacker. I'm like, honest to God, she's got the exact physique I'm going for. I'm like, a lot of time. What's her name? A lot of times, like when guys start working out, they're like, "Oh, I want to look like Chris Hemsworth in Thor. I want to look like obviously Brad Pitt in Fight Club." And I'm like, I kind of want to look like the women's 400 meter world record holder.
That was good stuff.
Actually, I think we're actually looking at the 800 meter woman, which is even more impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. To carry that neck around the track for 2 laps. Jesus.
So that's a neck to carry around.
Looks like she could one bite like a whole rotisserie chicken. Just she's got a neck that expands like a snake. Shit.
One bite of rotisserie chicken is crazy.
She could like me with the boba tea tapioca balls is her slurping down rotisserie chickens. Fuck.
Yeah, so those are some of the dodgiest of the world records, and I agree. I think Sid is now in the conversation.
Yeah, when it's all said and done, Sydney is going to be an athlete that we do talk about as one of the greatest of all time, forever. For sure.
Yeah, forever. Yeah, it's incredible. Okay, here's another voicemail that I really want to get to this one.
Hey, Eric and Aisha, it's Matt from Maryland. I was laughing on my morning run about you guys going on about Max heard around the world, and it got me wondering, what's your most mortifying experience as an athlete? All right, love you guys. Bye.
Mortify. So, yeah. Mortifying experience. Why don't you go first, Aisha? I can't hear her. You muted yourself, I think. Touch the mic. Red button. There.
Got it.
Yeah. There you go.
I didn't know that this was a touch button. Thanks, Mac. Mortifying experience as an athlete. I don't really get easily embarrassed. So that's part of the problem. I can't really think of something.
Yeah, I don't have
I'm sure
necessarily
people have a lot of like they are embarrassed by my behaviors, but I don't personally think I've got one. When we were in college, this was like before dating apps or whatever. So we would have to like hit on people in the wild. And
Pervert.
my teammate and I was really more functioning as the wing woman in this case, but we were in the ice baths at a regionals, and I was wing womaning her so hard into someone that in all these cases, I would just be egging people on, like, we'll never see these guys again. Like, come on, this is fun. Like, we'll never see these guys again. Let's just give it a try. And lo and behold, I then became teammates at OTC with James Eichberger, who was an 800-meter runner. And I turned up to practice and he was there. And I felt so embarrassed. I swear, like the color drained from my face of like, oh my gosh, I was trying to set this guy up with my friend so hard. It was so obvious. It didn't really like work 100%, but I think they got each other's numbers, and I did feel embarrassed about that because it's like I really moved through the world thinking that I'm never going to see anyone ever again, and then we have to run together for like an entire year, and I'm like, oh shit, that was embarrassing.
So you tried to set up your teammate with James?
Yeah, in the ice bath. And like
in the ice bath.
Like I was being such a bro about it. Like I was like really aggressive.
Let me hit me with some lines that you're spitting on James. Yeah. You were being really aggressive, and you were making everybody really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Who even knows what I was coming up with? I mean, mind you, this is like 13 years ago, but I still, I can still picture it. Can still picture the day.
Yeah. Mac was like, I'm going to get James on the horn and he can tell us the experience from his point of view.
Like, ma'am, that's assault.
Yeah. Like that's like it was a different time.
Sometimes you're winging too hard.
Yeah. Your teammate was like, Aisha, like, what the fuck was that, dude? And you're like, sorry, I came out a little strong. I couldn't quite read the tub.
The cold temps were going to my head.
The cold, you're like, man, I don't know. The cold tub was super cold. I couldn't think straight. Yeah, I don't really have like a mortifying. I'm trying to think of like a mortifying thing as an athlete. I don't know. I mean, like we've all got the stories of like almost shitting our pants on a run and things like that. And I guess that would be like the one time in high school, like during mid-workout, I was like, okay, I'm about to have like a genuine problem on my hands. And in the middle of a rep,
on my shorts.
I'm like, okay, it's okay, code red. And we were doing a workout near my house. So I live pretty close to my high school, and we were doing like a workout in between my high school and the track in like this graveyard. And mid rep, I just peeled off and ran straight home. And and if I'm gonna be actually dead serious, and might as well be now, who gives a shit? But I did, no pun intended. I ended up I didn't even make it to my house, and I just shit on very close to my front lawn. And then
did you pull your pants down or just in your shorts?
Yes, I did. And I was and I was like looking around. I'm like at the neighbors. I'm like, yeah. And then I walked. And then I walked inside. I just stripped completely naked and walked into my house, and my mom stayed there. I'm just walking in naked, like fucking disgusting, mortified. And my mom was like, "What the?" It's kind of run of the mill for the Jenkins household. She's like, "Good day at school?" I'm like, "Yeah, not bad. Was able to get out of practice early." So I guess that's not really mortifying. That's fine.
Oh my God, that's pretty mortifying.
Yeah. Well, that'd be mortifying if I did it if it's like, okay, I just did that in front of the team or the school. But I'm like, Mama Jenkins is fine. That's how it goes.
Oh, bless your mother.
Yeah. Absolute saint. Let's do one more.
Okay.
You're like, I think that's a good ending point.
I think that's a great ending point. What a crescendo.
Yeah. My mom's not calling in for that. I'm like, hey, Mom, tell about the story about me walking in covered in shit, naked. She's like, what time?
It's a lot about enhanced games.
Oh, okay, we'll dive into that when it gets closer. We did a good job with that a lot. Yes, we covered it.
We did a good job. I think so.
What time you've got to go?
I gotta go night because I gotta wake up night soon to watch.
You gotta go. You and Emma gotta go snug up and go to bed.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Okay, sweetie. Well,
9:56 p.m.
Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Great. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.